Namanda, 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 Namanda. Good morning, everyone. Ohayo gozaimasu. Welcome to our service this morning. Nice to have you all here for this family service. And not only family service, this is our second Sunday for September, and we're kind of beginning again for the fall Dharma school. We're going to start the Dharma school with a Zoom gathering at the same time, so we'll meet with them at this morning as well. Before this family service here right now, I'd like to welcome you to our chairperson for this week. This is Bodhi. Bodhi is the Buddha bunny, and you can notice that he has his mask on and reminding us again to continue to be careful and safe, wear our masks, protective gear wherever we go. And you notice he has his onenju, so he is ready for service. You might remember that last week was our Shotsuki service, and the Sloth family was here. They always like to come to our Shotsuki service, and they have left. They have another appointment, so they are gone, but not all the way gone. There's kind of making their way away. So they're off in a rush, and they've gotten that far because it takes them a little bit of time. So they've gotten that far, they're going on to their next appointments and planning to come back for next month's Shotsuki. So they are rushing around the Bay Area, visiting here and there, just zooming as sloths always do. So for today's service, I'll give you the service order. We'll have the reading of the golden chain, and then this will be followed by the RaiSonMon. Then I'll go up to the altar and we will chant the SanBuJo and the JuNiRai. This will be followed by a short gong meditation, and then I'll come back for my Dharma message. Okay, so please join me in the golden chain. Golden chain, number 1. I am a link in Amida's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. I will be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amida's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. RaiSonMon. Rinjin ukegatashi imasure ni uku, buppo kikigatashi imasure ni kiku. Konomi konjo ni mukatte dosezumba, sarani izure no sho ni mukatte kakonomi o dosen. Daishu moro tomo ni shishin ni sambo ni kieshi tatematsuru beshi. Mizukara butsu ni kieshi tatematsuru. Masani negawakuba shujo to tomo ni. Daido taige shite mujoi o okosan. Mizukara ho ni kieshi tatematsuru. Masani negawakuba shujo to tomo ni. Fukaku kyozo ni irite chie umi no gotoku naran. Mizukara so ni kieshi tatematsuru. Masani negawakuba shujo to tomo ni. Daishu o tori shite issai muge naran. Mujo jinjin mimyo no ho wa 100,000万号にも愛をことかたし、我ま検問し従事することを得たり、願わくば如来の真実義を消し立てまつらん。南無阿弥陀仏、南無阿弥陀仏、南無阿弥陀仏、南無阿弥陀仏、南無阿弥陀仏、南無阿弥陀仏、南無阿弥陀仏。SanBuJo and JuNiRai. Shuju me oso ひざ上如線の子が将来みだそん実法将来勝負し権限人図し安楽戦後尊厳直行子が将来みだそん小無常無我と薬尿水月年よろ一種説法無名字子が将来みだそん一尊仏説無悪病薬無尿人なく両夫主任死心教依存子が将来みだそん一尊無料勉強無所主悪知識往生不在死亡大子が将来みだそんガセス非尊苦毒寺修善無変如海水小逆前言少女者衛生修上昇以降Silent meditation. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, 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 Namanda. Namanda, 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 Namanda. Good morning again, everyone. I'd like to start today's Dharma message with this quote from the Hymns of the Pure Land Masters. Please join me in Gassho as I read this wasan. We who aspire for Amida's fulfilled land, though we differ in outward condition and conduct, should truly receive the name of the primal vow and never forget it, whether waking or sleeping. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. So in this wasan, Shinran is writing to we, as we aspire to attain our awakening, to aspire to get to the Pure Land. And so we each have our different conditions and different backgrounds. We should always try to receive the name, the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, and to trust in the primal vow that leads us to this awakening, awakened awareness. And we should never forget this. So this is bringing us to the singleness of mind that we always aspire to awaken to the Buddha's teachings so that we can receive true and real human life. So today, as we begin again for this fall season, we want to begin with the very basic things and talking again about Shakyamuni Buddha, Prince Siddhartha, when he first became interested. He wanted to leave the family and the palace to seek the truths of life, a deeper meaning of life itself. So he left the palace and all the royalty, the good life that he had, and he wanted to find truth. This was more valuable to him. And as he left, he came to his awakening. And then from there, he wanted to share this teaching with all other beings. And it was kind of a radical idea at the time and kind of a criticism of the teachings that were predominant there in India and their caste system. And so in Buddhism, everyone is encouraged to live a true and real life, to follow a way that they can all aspire to, and to be equal and fair to all beings. Everyone is welcome and encouraged to follow the Buddhist teachings and to become awakened themselves. And so far different from that is the caste system in India that so many had lived under for centuries, for generations and generations. Those in the lowest caste would live their next life in the lowest caste and continue on from there. They could never escape this lowest caste of living. And so the things that others had in society, the royalty, the riches, the good life, and the comfort, this would never be accessible to others in the lower classes of human existence. And so Buddhism addresses this. Shakyamuni said, this is not right. We don't just receive all this goodness and others do not. You are benefited by how you act in your life, how you respond as a person, as a human being in this life. And so with this beginning, Buddhism evolved, and when we come to Shinran Shonin and the Nembutsu teachings, for the first time, the Nembutsu teachings makes awakened awareness available to everyone, to all beings. And even though this was said during the time of the Buddha, it was actually addressed to monks, the students of Buddhism, and royalty, the people who had the time to study and to have access to books and teachers and such. And so the people, everyday people, living their lives, farmers, fishermen, the peasants and the merchants, they really didn't have time for this, the time of the Buddha. And for centuries, they just supported the monks who could live a life of a true Buddhist. They would help them along so they could continue to study. They would provide foods and supplies for the monks and to treat them with deep, deep respect. And at Shindan's time, for the first time, there's no restriction, not only the student monks and the royalty, but to all beings, all beings. And this is what makes our teachings a grassroots movement of Buddhism open to everyone. And this is why our grandparents and great-grandparents had access to this Nembutsu teaching. For the first time, they had something that they could aspire to themselves and to become whole and complete people, reciting the Nembutsu, trying to aspire to the highest truths of human existence. And this became available to them. Okay? And so with this, they continued and persevered. And so these people, for the most part, all of our great-grandparents and beyond lived from these people, and they stepped forward. These are the people who came to America. Okay? They are the ones who were looking for a better life, and they wanted to seek something a little bit more comfort and have more access to, not only for themselves but for their families. They wanted to come here, earn some money and security, and send that back home and provide that to their families in Japan. And so they came with this thought in mind. And in a sense, it's the American dream to live, come and live here in a free country, freedom for any people, freedom of religion, and equality for all people. And so they came here hoping for this, and this continues. So these were the pioneer Japanese Americans coming to Hawaii and America. And you still see this for others coming from third world countries, coming from Latin America and such, still having this ideal of the American ideal, the American dream, to come here and to fulfill their promise as human beings. And so this continues. And so next week I want to continue with this story. During the time in Japan, there was a presentation by Reverend Kenyamada, and he brought up some of these aspects and the uprisings from the peasant class people in Japan. And again, this is another aspect of people who were not receiving the ability to have religious freedom and economic support and such. And so these are the people who say this is not right, and they rose up, kind of a rebellion, a revolt to the status quo people. And so this is part of Buddhist history, Japanese history, and in every society. So we're going to look at this a little bit more. So stay tuned, come back next week and follow and join us for the exciting conclusion of this Dharma message. Also next week will be our Ohigan service and our Keido recognition of our special elders that we honor every year. And so please remind them that it is Keido acknowledgement and Ohigan service, and encourage each other, remind each other to tune in next week and to be here again. So let me read this quote again, and so you are reminded of what we have talked about today. Please join me in Gassho. We who aspire for Aleda's fulfilled land, though we differ in outward condition and conduct, should truly receive the name of the primal vow and never forget it, whether waking or sleeping. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Please come up in Oshoko, here and there at your homes. Thank you very much for joining us today at this service. Thank you.